Airdrops in crypto in 2026 are certainly not what they used to be. The days of getting a 5 to 6 figure airdrop for simply being super early to a platform, it's become much harder to achieve that in 2026. But in this video, I'm going to go over what I consider to be the 5 airdrops that any single crypto participant should be farming at this point in time. I genuinely think if you do this right with the steps in this video, you could come away with 4, 5, maybe even 6-figure airdrops if you're really severely going hard on farming these airdrops. The market is dipping as I'm recording this, and this is the best time, right? You maybe don't want to spend all your time trading a choppy market. This is the time to jump in and actually farm these airdrops, and I think these will play out very well for those who do it right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. As always, guys, be sure to drop down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more. Every single week here on In the Game, we have you covered top to bottom. Everything you need to win across crypto, prediction markets, and more. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors down below in the description. You can check out 𝗏𝗏, Variational, and more in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Like I said, the market is in this kind of middle ground. You know, we're down 5% right now on Bitcoin on the 7-day charts. Bitcoin's down 2% on the 24-hour. It doesn't look great heading into this weekend. Volume is probably going to be pretty low. So you might not want to be spending your time just staring at the charts or trying to long or short every single move. And I completely understand that. And, you know, like I said at the beginning of this video, what we're going to talk about today is airdrop farming, but we're not going to be going through 50 protocols. In the past, you know, there have been years where there are 20 different airdrops that come across, and they're maybe worth farming and maybe they aren't worth getting involved with. But the one thing I can assure you is these 5 platforms I'm going to talk about today, number 1, are gaining a lot of popularity. Number 2, some of them you are still very early. And number 3, they are extremely well funded. And I think that if you actually take action on the steps I'm going to give you in this video to accrue points or climb the leaderboards, accrue volume, etc., I think you could qualify yourself for a 4 or 5, maybe even for those of you who rinse a lot of capital through these things, potentially even low 6-figure airdrops when it comes to stuff like Polymarket. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I want to go ahead and say this. None of this is guaranteed. Like, you're going to be spending time. You might be spending capital on some of these things, but the upside that you can get from being early to some of these platforms is absolutely massive. I'm going to go over 2 perps dexes, 2 different prediction market layers, and then I'm going to talk about 1 GambleFi platform that I think is going to have a massive airdrop. So let's jump into it. Number 1 is Variational. Variational, this is one that is starting to gain a lot of traction on the timeline. A lot of people that were early to Hyperliquid and were early to Lighter are now starting to angle towards farming points on Variational. So there's 450 plus tokens here. You can trade up to 50x leverage. Oh, and there are 0 fees on this exchange, which is absolutely phenomenal. It kind of functions just like Hyperliquid, but like I said, they are extremely well funded. The ways I would go about this is, number 1, if you are a day-to-day perps / leverage trader, come over here and put some volume in. Deposit a couple $100, throw in some leverage trades. The volume calculates on how much the total trade is, not the amount you're trading. So if you do a $50 trade at 50x leverage, that's $2,500 of volume, not the $250 or the $25 that you initially put in. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Your $50 could actually result you in a $2,500 trade for volume, which will help you climb up the leaderboard to earn points. We go over here to points every single every week. There are distributed points here, so you can see the distribution is coming up in 4 hours and 53 minutes. The easiest way to do this is simply to hop over here, find some positions you're willing to sit in, even, you can put volume through and, open and close trades, day trade. Obviously your volume numbers are going to rack up very quickly if you do that. But if you also want to sit in positions, they will be rewarding people for holding the longer term leverage trades. And I think that like shorting something like a mega ETH, for example, long term, like this thing, I think is just going to keep tanking. You can see this trajectory. I just don't see where this is going to recover. So like this is a cozy one to set like a 10x leverage trade on and put a position in and let it run, because the duration of your trades can help you gain points, but also your overall volume. So if you are a day trader or you just play around with perps at all, I think it's a good opportunity to come through here. Even lighter. I was late to farming lighter and I still got $9,000 worth of tokens, which I thought was pretty solid for me being extremely late to the game, and the point system was already well underway. And I think that you're still pretty early on this one. So variational is number one. The one thing is you have to have an access code. We have a link down below. You can sign up with your, MetaMask, Ravy wallet, etc. But you can also use our code OMNIITG. And that will actually get you through the door here, because you have to have an access code. But we have that for you down below in the description if you would like to access this platform. Another perps dex that I think this is the future of what a perps dex should be. And I mean, I've done 50,000 in volume here. I just set this up. I don't have too much capital in it currently, but I do put different trades in daily. This is Legend. So Legend, this is one I want to ramp up because it's relatively new. They're still in their alpha stages, but this is a competitive / social arena style trading platform. So you can see here, like I've profited like $100, but I've done 50K in volume and my ELO is 591. That means your skill level. So every time you win trades or whatever the case is, that ELO, basically your arena ranking goes up. Right now, I'm number 71 on the platform. If we go to the homepage here, you can see why I like this. You can see top traders, their P&Ls, etc. This guy's made $43,000 this week. You can just straight up follow the top traders, like I just followed this guy. And then you can go in here. You can see people's posts. You can see their theses. Ryo's made 30K this month, and he just longed Hyperliquid, and he just said Hyperliquid. So you can straight up follow these people, and they can post their theses on these trades. I think it's a very, very intuitive way to go about it. And they have the arena. This is where you can actually come through here and challenge people. You can spectate. These people, wagered $10 in a trading match against each other. So this is a really cool platform. And I think this could be some of the future of if a perps dex is going to break through and actually have some market share alongside a Hyperliquid. I think that Legend is definitely up there with their format and what they are doing. So I'll leave a link down below for this as well if you would like to join on Legend and Variational. Those will be the two perps dexes I would highly recommend to put some volume through, because I think based on your ELO, your volume, your P&L, etc., across Legend, and then really just your volume, your duration of trades, etc., similar to stuff we saw with Lighter and Hyperliquid, I think you should be putting volume through both of these platforms. Number 3 is a prediction market. I think this will be the biggest airdrop of the cycle, hands down, and that's Polymarket. Polymarket has already valuated their token at a $15 billion market cap before it goes to market. So that's what we're looking at right now, is Polymarket's token is trading pre-market at $15 billion. They are estimated to be giving away 10% of this token. That's $1.5 billion. So what you need to do is you 100% need to jump in here and figure out something you like to trade. If you're a crypto person, you can trade crypto price action. You can trade different things on if you think a coin is going to be valuated at a certain amount. There's pre-markets, like there's MicroStrategy solutions here. Will Base launch a token this year? What will Hyperliquid hit this May, etc. So there's so many different options for every single type of person. There's hourly price markets, 4-hour price markets. There's sports. For me, there's esports. I come from a gaming background. So esports is something I've really enjoyed diving into, and they literally offer every market you can imagine whenever it comes to this. And I actually just set up a new Polymarket account last week. and I'm going to try to challenge myself because I have one with, a few $100,000 in volume. I'm doing a challenge right now to grow this account from like $100 to 1,000 and then to 10,000, etc. But also I want to see what kind of airdrop can you get if you start today. So I will update you guys on that account. If you want, you can sign up to Polymarket down below. Even if you start with $20, it does not matter. I would just start putting volume through here. They're really going to be weighing heavy on really just volume, profit and loss, and the type of markets you've participated in, like what have you done across the platform, etc. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. And I did do a full dedicated Polymarket airdrop video last week on the channel. You can check that out. But I absolutely recommend, if you're a sports fan, esports fan, crypto, politics, you follow tech companies, they have markets for literally everything here. So check out Polymarket down below in the description. Sign up on the link. I guarantee you this is going to be the biggest airdrop of the cycle, and I would be massively surprised if I am wrong on that assumption. Another one you can farm alongside Polymarket is Share. Now, this is extremely interesting. It's kind of like what we just showed you with Variational. So Variational is a regular perps dex. Legend is a social perps dex. Well, Polymarket is the prediction layer. Share is a social prediction market platform, and they are official partners with Polymarket. I have to say, using this app is such a clean freaking experience. The UI, etc. You can set notifications, you can follow and copy trade people. If people copy trade your trades, you get paid. And also there's a social feed similar to Legend. You take a trade and then you can actually post about it on your social feed. You can see here, you give your predictions a voice, and you knew exactly what was going to happen. You didn't do it quietly. People are copy trading you, etc. This is incredible. You can get paid 50% on copy trade. So if you're sharp, that goes very well. There's live charts, leaderboards. You can check out who's holding, how many positions, or how much dollars people have in certain markets. You can find sharp wallets and just effectively follow them. This is on Android and on the Apple Store. It is exclusive to mobile. But the cool part here, Hustle, why are you telling us about a social app on Polymarket if you want us to use Polymarket? So here's the flow that you want to do. You want to come through down below in the description, make a Polymarket account. Okay. Make your dedicated Polymarket account so you own the wallet. Okay. I love all these different apps and stuff, but don't come in here and just deposit on the Share wallet. What you should do is open up a Polymarket account down below, download Share. You can then link your Polymarket account to Share, and you own that Polymarket account. You can double cross it on web. You can go to Polymarket and see your account, own your wallet, and that way you own your airdrop. So you're double dipping here. You're doing volume on Share while also doing volume on Polymarket on wallets that you 100% own. There are apps out there where you don't own your wallet. There are trading bots that you don't have the seed phrases for, or whatever the case is, which means if Polymarket was to airdrop you $10,000, that app is just going to take it from you. Whereas if you make your own Polymarket account and then you link it to Share, you are double dipping, as Share will have a token in the future. So this is absolutely amazing. I would definitely check out Share. I'll leave that link down below in the description. And then last but not least, I want to talk about a GambleFi project that I really am going to compare to Shuffle. I think genuinely that this has more hype than what Shuffle did whenever they launched. Shuffle is still sitting at $130 million market cap. And if you look at the yearly price action, this thing's performing pretty well. So definitely one to look out for. And of course, everyone knows Rollbit. Let's just take a look at Rollbit. This one has definitely fallen off in popularity, but still at $100 million market cap. So these GambleFi tokens do very well. And the Shuffle airdrop specifically was one of the bigger airdrops of that time period. I think it's 100% essential that you are looking into Yeet, whether you are sports fan or you want to play sports, whether you want to play some of their different games across the platform. Like I said, this is GambleFi. This will be risky, but there are ways to deposit $100 and just do $1 spins, and your volume will rack up very quickly. I think that people that can rack up 25,000 or more in volume on Yeet will make out very well because so many people see that as risky. So this is why it's the last one. It is the riskiest. I'll leave a link down below in the description, but I really do think that this could turn out something like Shuffle, which is still at $130 million market cap and a $300 million FDV. So this is something that's definitely on my radar. And I think that Yeet, you will probably see a massive airdrop whenever this does go live. So to recap, I would absolutely be putting volume through variational and legend. Both of those links are down below. I would be putting volume through Polymarket, open a Polymarket account, and link it to the Share app. The Share app is game changing. I really like what they're doing there. I think it's one of the more innovative products of the cycle. And then I would definitely, if you have the risk tolerance, be looking into Yeet. I think that people who put substantial volume there could get a significant airdrop because of it's not as farmed. Like people aren't putting as much volume there because they deem it so risky. If you're smart and calculated, you can run up your volume and probably climb that leaderboard pretty quickly. So that is what I am doing. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'll leave links to all 5 of these platforms in the description down below. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment which airdrops do you think will be the biggest? Are you farming any of these? I would love to know. And I will see you guys on the next video. As always, trade responsibly, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.